Hi, this is Bird from Birds SVGs.com, and in this video I'll be showing how I put the Birdhouse box together. These are the pieces that form the structure of the box. First I'll be starting with the base, and then I'll complete the lid afterwards. So first off, I'm folding along all of the score lines so I know where my panels are. I'm offering these two pieces up against each other so I know that I'm folding all of my score lines and my tabs in the correct direction. Now, first of all, I find it's best to apply the layers before you assemble the box. So the first thing I'll be doing here, I'm adding some double-sided tape to the aperture of the Birdhouse box, and then what I'll be doing is I'll be adding a piece of acetate, and that way if you're putting some gifts inside your box, they won't fall through the hole, but you can still see in to see what's there. So it's difficult to see there in the video, but I'm just putting my acetate piece in place. And because I put that on first, when I add my layering pieces, then it will be sandwiched in between and you won't see any of the double-sided tape. I'm adding some glue to the back of the first layer that I'll be placing on the front of my box. And I'm careful not to add any glue too close to that aperture, as glue on top of acetate can squidge quite far and I don't want any of that to be visible. Now here's the front layer for my box. And I won't be adding glue to the whole of the panel. I'll just be adding little bits of glue here and there. So one trick when you're dealing with intricate cuts as this, if any of the pieces try and lift after you've placed them down, then try adding some glue onto a spatula or something incredibly thin and slide it underneath and add some glue underneath the piece. If you try and bend them back with your fingers to add some glue, you can crease the card and it will never lie down flat again. So I'm just popping that layer into place. And we have a visitor. Here I'm showing you how I'm adding some glue to the corner of my spatula, and it just adds a smear of glue behind some of those pieces that we're lifting. Now I'm onto the first panel for one of my sides of my box. And then I'll be adding a piece of pattern paper. And when I place this down, I'll try to make sure that I've got an even border all of the way round. Now I'll repeat this with the back of the box. adding glue to each layer and popping them into place. It's a lot easier adding these layers while the box is still in pieces while it's lying flat. Here's the next layer. I'm going to add this, making sure that I've got an even border all the way around. And then I'm onto my side panel. Then I'm adding my last layer. And I'm making sure to keep an even border around all of the edges. Okay, now I've got all my side panels on and in place. And these are the two bottom pieces. And I need the outside base first. That's the slightly larger piece. Now I'm putting the sides of the box together. So I'm adding some glue onto the flap. Then I'm going to hold that piece in place just for a moment until the glue takes hold. Once the glue's taken hold, I can move over to the other flap and close the box up. Just going to push the tab into place from the inside and make sure that that's got a firm hold. Now I'm going to tuck all the tabs on the bottom in. Sorry I'm off camera there, but I'm adding some glue to all of the tabs, making sure to go right into the corners. And then I'm placing the base of the box into place. You can use a bone folder or any long tool just to put some pressure on your tabs, just to make sure they're getting a firm hold. Now, using the smaller square, add some glue to this piece, and then you can drop that inside your box. It'll cover up the tabs and it'll add some extra strength. Okay, now onto the lid. This is how it looks. And you want to bend your side tabs inwards. Now there'll be a couple of little score lines to show how much to overlap your sides. So you want to add some glue to that small flap there. And then overlap just till you meet those little score lines, and then hold it in place and wait for the glue to take hold. And then once that's done, you move over to the other side, add some glue to your tab, then overlap to that score line again, and hold in place until your glue sets. Now you have some pieces to cover up the front and back, so you're hiding the overlap. So you have a panel, and then you have this decorative edging that ties in with the decorative front panel on your box. So place that onto the backing layer, making sure all the edges line up. Then you want to flip that over, add some more glue, and then if you've overlapped your lid in the right place, then this piece should match up perfectly. And there, it hides the overlap tab. So you want to add your piece to both sides of the lid. And now we're ready for the decorative panels for the top of your lid. Now what I found was best was to fold the piece and line the fold up with the top of your box, but just add glue to one side at a time. Then you can push it over, push against that one side, and then add glue to the other side. And then tip your lid over and put pressure on that side afterwards. You'll have alternating colours, and you want to repeat the method. So add glue to one side at a time, fold along your score line, and then place your score line onto the peak of your lid, and then flip your lid over and add some pressure to the inside. Then add glue to the other side. And then add some pressure from inside the lid. And we're down to the smallest piece now. The method's still the same, adding the glue to one side at a time. Then adding glue to the last side. And then making sure that glue takes hold. Now there is this finishing strip which is completely optional. And I didn't want any score lines down the center, so you can just bend it over something and then add some glue. And pop it into place. I didn't bend mine very symmetrically. I was rushing for the video, so I'm sure at home you'll be able to do a much better job than I did there. But as I say, this strip is completely optional. And there you can pop your lid onto your box. And it's all done. It's ready for some gifts, or you can use it as a storage box.